From the basement of La Penta, this is WICR.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. I am your host with the most, Jersey Joe Archino, and I am ready to get into the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League. Yesterday, we had the winner of the Barcelona-Bayern Munich series moving on to the UCL final. Barcelona, of course, losing the match, but moving on from aggregate goals. And look, I think at the end of the day in this one, I preach it a lot, and clearly if you follow FC Barcelona, if you follow world football, you'll know that it all comes down to the unselfishness. When you look at the goals scored in that game, both Neymar's goals in the 15th and the 29th minute, and even Neymar's breakaway at the end where he passes the ball out to Messi, you see that that is what FC Barcelona stands for. That's how they play. That's how they preach. That's the motto, unselfishness. Suarez with beautiful setups for Neymar, passing the ball and scoring goals against arguably the best goalie in the world. And I think when you look at it collectively, everybody on Barcelona, I mean, when you look at Barcelona as a whole, there's not a better representation of how to play team football. Everybody plays for each other. Everybody's in the right place. Everybody has good communication. And you just see it. And it all starts with the attacking trio of Suarez, Neymar, and then, of course, Messi. And when you have stars like that who are so unselfish, it sets the standard. And that's what the standard is for Barcelona. Unselfishness. And Bayern Munich, they played a great match yesterday. It was light years ahead of their first match at Camp Nou, and they really did play well. But at the end of the day, Barcelona was just in too good of a position. And really, I mean, I even think Suarez didn't play the second half because there really was no reason to. So Suarez didn't play that second half. And again, I think there was a little bit of he was feeling some soreness in his hamstring. So it didn't really make much sense to risk him. It was over. But if Suarez was playing, I definitely think they would have gotten another goal out of it. And at the end of the day, Bayern Munich struck first, but Barcelona kept responding. Neymar was fantastic. Suarez set up the opportunities. They were fantastic. I don't think there's any question that the best trio in the world is at FC Barcelona, and it all starts with the unselfishness. And look, we're lucky. I felt all year long that FC Barcelona has been the best side. I mean, really, when you look at since about December, then they had that 13-game winning streak. They've been the best club in the world since that time, and they have not slowed down one bit. I think there's no question. I have them winning it all, and I think they're moving on to the Champions League final. We'll see today what happens in the Juve-Real Madrid match. I don't know. I mean, I hope Juve can win, but at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm ready to pick against Real Madrid in this spot, especially with how well they've bounced back in the face of adversity this season. But they are in a tough spot right now, and at the end of the day, if you have to compare FC Barcelona to Real Madrid, I do think it all comes down to that unselfishness. The Gareth Bale, the Benzema combo with Ronaldo. Ronaldo has got to be Superman. He's got to be the guy who takes all those shots, gets all the goals. And I think Bale wants that same thing, and Benzema wants that same thing. And when those two guys aren't willing to kind of step back a little bit, that's when you run into these issues sometimes. And you don't get that with Barcelona, because especially with Suarez, Suarez is one of the best players in the world, one of the top 5. There's no question about it. But I think at the end of the day, when you look at him, he has accepted his role in that he's going to score some less goals. He's going to create more chances for his teammates. And you look at how well he's done in that regard. He's done it all, and it's been phenomenal for FC Barcelona. But I think right now it was a great match. I thought at the end of the day, we didn't know how they were going to rank these matches, but I thought that truly these were the two best clubs, Bayern Munich and Barcelona at the moment, and this would make for a great final. But I mean, look, if we get an El Clasico rematch in the final, I think that would be fantastic. If we got Juventus against Barcelona, I think that would be a great final as well. You combine the speed and precision of the La Liga, especially Barcelona, who executes that unlike anyone, against the defensive style of Italian teams, which no one runs as well as Juventus does. I think it makes for a great match. I mean, mean, you've got stars across Juve. You've got obviously got tons of stars across Barcelona. It would make for a great match, and I don't think we lose either way. But today's match will be very important. The unsung hero, though, I think, from Barcelona in these two matches, not as much in yesterday's, but in the first one certainly, was Ivan Rakitic. Now, obviously, I mean, if there's one thing you're going to say about Barcelona, it's that everybody has mastered their position. When you look at all the guys on the pitch against Barcelona, they're always in the right spot. They always do their job, and they execute it almost perfectly in terms of their touch, their precision, where they need to be. And I think especially for one of those guys is always Ivan Rakitic. There's always those unsung heroes on these clubs who have the trio of attackers, of great talented players. And there's always those nice players like Dani Alves, Ivan Rakitic, all these guys which Barca has the luxury of having, but I'm a big fan of what he's done, especially last week. Rakitic always is a guy who does those little things, creates those extra little opportunities to keep a ball alive that turns into something. He's a very, very important player, and he's played very, very well. But I think looking at it, breaking it all down, it's been a lot of fun to watch. It was a phenomenal match yesterday, and again, I just kept on thinking the whole time, this is why I like Barcelona, because of the unselfishness of it. And I think when you look at sports and if you look at life, unselfishness is something that breeds success. It's something people want to be around because when you are unselfish, you create more opportunities for more people to get access, to be happier, to get their share. And really, that's what we all want. We all want an equal playing ground. We all want equal access, equal opportunity. And when you have that unselfish culture built, that's something that everyone can get on board with. And again, I keep on comparing them, but I think if you're going to compare anyone, it's got to be the La Liga giants, Real Madrid and Barcelona. And if there's one thing that you have to compare that truly separates the two, I think it's the unselfishness factor. Now, you don't take away anything from Real Madrid. Obviously, they've had quite a deal of success as well, but I still think at the end of the day, when I look at the relationship of Suarez, Neymar, and Messi, that's the unselfishness extends to off the field as well. You see how close they are and always posting Instagram photos of each other. And I remember Neymar did an interview a while ago, and he talked about how Messi and him always hang out off the pitch together as well. So I think that unselfish culture extends beyond the pitch, and really the way you play on the pitch is a reflection of how you are off the pitch. I had the same segment when I talked about this in basketball, where you look at LeBron James and how giving he is as a teammate. Well, that's the person he is in real life. He's a guy who always likes to be around people, try to help people. And I think when you look at the guys like Kobe Bryant, there was an article where he talked about how he really doesn't have any true friends because he's a guy who just wants to work. He doesn't have time to be social, to go out to these things. He has friends, but he said he can't be a great friend. And again, I think that's the way Kobe Bryant plays. He's an assassin. He's a guy who wants to do everything solo. You do it Kobe's way or it's the highway. And it's amazing how when you look at off the field, regardless of what the sport is, the way that people interact on the field is quite a reflection of how they are on it. And I think it's interesting, and I think that unselfishness from Barcelona is also ties in to the character of a Neymar, of a Suarez, and of a Messi, because honestly, we see it. I mean, you see it yesterday. All three of those guys have the ability to just flat out take over games. I mean, if they wanted to, they could absolutely do it. But Messi, Neymar, Suarez, there's not a better trio in the world. Barcelona moving on to the UCL final will be a lot of fun. In a little while, really about an hour from now, we have the continuation that we've all been waiting for. Juventus wins the first leg at their place. It was a fantastic result. I think it's going to be really good, this one we have here today. I have Real Madrid. Again, like I said at the top of the show, I'm pulling for Juve to get it done, but I'm not going to pick against Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo shows up big time today. I think James creates the opportunities they need to. Will Gareth Bale be happy? Who knows? The guy doesn't seem to be very happy right now, but at the end of the day, it's Ronaldo. Ronaldo's got to step up, and I think he will. But for the Sports Hall, for this segment, I am Jersey Joe Archino. If you want to hear my thoughts on the matches we have later today, follow me on Twitter at SportsVaultIona. We'll be tweeting about it. Will be a lot of fun. But everyone, thank you for listening, and enjoy these fantastic matches we have coming up.